Good morning, third grade. It's Miss Martinez here, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our lesson for the day. Happy Wednesday. Thanks to all of you that came out yesterday for the parade to see us. That was super exciting. Saw some great faces, saw some great signs. It was awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. Our learning target for today is I can determine the main idea of a text. That's the only thing we're really going to be focusing on here. Is can you figure out what the main idea of the text is? What is the text mostly about? Not, oh, yep, that was in the text, but this is what that whole text is really trying to tell me or focus on, okay? So that's what we're going to be learning about today and focusing on, because that's going to also go with the packet work that you have for today. It's about finding the main idea. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to look at a few different paragraphs and we're going to find the main idea of them. So let's go ahead and read our first one here. Read along with me out loud if you can. Many of us love cheese on our food. I know I do. Very few of us know how it is made. That's true. I'm not sure if I truly know. Making cheese always begins with milk. Okay. The first step is to separate the milk into solid curds and liquid whey. You can do this by adding an acid to sour the milk. Then you add rennet. Rennet is curdled milk from the stomach of a calf. That does not sound that pleasing, but that's okay. The acid that is used to sour the milk creates the flavor of the cheese. So different acids are used for different cheeses. That makes sense. So now, what is the main idea? What did we just read about? Before we even look at the answers, okay? What did we just read about? Did we read about how people put cheese on all these different types of foods like hot dogs and hamburgers and this? Did we learn about that? What did we really talk about here? Did we talk about different types of cheeses? Did we talk about the different types of acids, that there's this acid and that acid? Or did we just talk about how you can make it? What did we learn about? Okay, all right, so let's see. Cheese is made by combining milk, acid, and rennet. Is that our main idea? Or is it many people love cheese? Or different acids are used in different cheeses? Or very few people understand how cheese is made? Which one of these is what we're really talking about here? What are we thinking? Which one can we get rid of? Which one do we think, that's definitely not it? I'm thinking this one, right? Many people love cheese. It didn't really talk about that. Like, yeah, we have many of us love cheese on our food, but it didn't say, did you know that 90% of people love this American cheese on all their foods and 85% love Swiss cheese? It didn't tell us about all that. That was just one sentence. Okay, that's not our main idea. So we can say that's a no-go. What else? Very few people understand how cheese is made. Yeah, because again, that's one sentence, right? It's one sentence. It didn't tell us nobody knows how to make it, and only 1% of the population knows how to make it, and we didn't talk about that. What did we talk about here? We talked about how the cheese was made, right? Making the cheese begins with this. You do this step, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this. It told us this is how the cheese is made. You have to do milk, acid, and rennet. Excellent. All right. Now we're going to the next one. So again, we're still figuring out what the main idea is, but now we have a different one. All right. This one is very important because it's kind of relevant for today with everything that's going on. So let's go ahead and read this one now. Again, you should be following along, reading out loud if you can, and if not, following with your eyes for sure. Have you ever gotten the flu? The flu is a virus, and viruses are small but powerful. They invade your body and try to take over. When you have the flu, your body fights back. It wants to find and destroy the flu virus. Your body has to work hard to help you. This is why you get a fever. You might feel warm, tired, and achy. If you rest and drink water, you will feel better soon. So what is the main idea of this text? That the flu is a small virus? That you get a fever when you have the flu? That when the flu invades your body works hard to help you? Or it's not fun to have the flu, but it doesn't last very long. Pause this video and think which one makes the most sense. All right, do we have an answer? Again, if we're not sure, let's start with what we know it really shouldn't be. Does it ever mention that it doesn't last a very long? It could last a while, actually. So I'm not sure that that's really what this whole thing is about. The first one is it says that the flu is a small virus. Yeah, but it tells us how it's really powerful and that it does a lot to our bodies, right? Is the whole thing about us getting a fever? And is it talking only about the fever and how the fever is going to make you do this and this and this? No, that's just one little part of it. But in all, it's telling us that when the flu invades our body has to work hard. And one way it works hard is the fever. Very nice job. All right. This is our next one. Again, we're still just figuring out the main idea. That is what we're focusing on here. All right, read along. Here we go. Hillary Clinton has done many things during her career in politics. When she was young, she worked on presidential campaigns. She was also First Lady when her husband was president, Bill Clinton. Next, she became a U.S. Senator and the Secretary of State. Hillary Clinton made history on June 6, 2016. She became the first female candidate for president from one of the two main parties when she was a part of the Democratic Party. So you probably know about Hillary Clinton. If not, she is quite famous for these reasons. Okay. So let's figure out, what is the main idea? Are we just saying that she's a woman? She was the first person to run for president? I'm sorry, first woman to run for president? That she's an important woman in politics? Or that she made history on June 6, 2016? What is this whole thing telling us about? Pause and figure out your answer. Pause it. You better have paused it. You better have an answer. You better have paused it, ladies. I'm watching you. All right. If you're back, that means you have an answer. We're not talking about how she's just a woman, right? She's much more than that. Yes, she was the first woman to run for president, but that's not what the whole thing is talking about. Because if that was our main idea, we'd be learning more about what happened when she ran for president. And again, made history on June 6, 2016. Those two answers go together because that's what she did. That's what that history was. But she was an important woman in politics for all those other reasons. So that's kind of encompassing everything. It brings it all together. All right, here we go. Next one. This is, which of these titles shows the main idea of the text? So now we need to create a title that's really going to encompass everything we're talking about. All right, let's go ahead and read this. Billie Jean King was born in 1943 in Long Beach, California. King was raised in an athletic family. Her father had an offer to play basketball in the NBA. Her brother made his way into pro baseball. King began with softball. One day she went to a country club with her friend. That is where she discovered tennis. She really wanted to learn the sport, even though it was expensive. She saved money to buy her first tennis racket. Today, she is a famous tennis player. So what are we talking about here? Are we talking about just visiting the country club, famous tennis players, that there's this person and this person and this person? Billie Jean's career, we're talking about how she scored all these points, she did this, or that she's discovering her sport? She discovers her sport, right? It's telling you the background, the story of how she discovered that she wanted to play tennis. Excellent. All right, well done, ladies. All right, last thing here for you. This is our learning target. I can determine the main idea of a text. I think we did very well with that. Make sure you're using all these ideas when you go in for your packet for the day. And here is your short response question that I want you to answer. I want you to tell me, what are some strategies that you can use to help you answer a question about a text? What could you do? Could you go back? Could you look at this? Could you underline? What could you do to help you figure out the main idea or just in general about the text? All right, so that's that. Make sure that you've watched the other two videos for the day, that you've gone on to Zern, and now you can go on to Freckle. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, ladies. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye!